Yes, sir.
along with the test data.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So now let us see how we execute the test cases and what the process we follow. Okay. So real scenarios, as soon as your test case are prepared, it is your responsible to report all the test cases to your team lead. Suppose you are preparing an Excel sheet, anywhere you prepare, you have to report them to your team lead first. Send them out, send Outlook XY, Outlook Express, forward them. Okay. And your leader will review all the test cases for the completeness and correctness. Whatever test case you prepared, your team lead has to approve them compulsory. And as soon as we get a build from developer, once it completes developing by developer, we will receive one build. Build means one exe file, executable application. And that build, what we have to do, we need to start executing your test case. So what is your reference while executing your application means no SRS, no test plan. Your test cases are only your references. Remember that. While executing, we don't refer anything. We have to refer only the test case what have been prepared. Okay. So here, see, the process of executing the test cases on the build in test environment is known as test execution. So as I told you in the test plan class, we discuss in test plan content, environment setup. So they will set up everything to your system. Don't worry. Before 2 weeks, we'll inform to system admin people whatever hardwares you required, whatever softwares you required, and what are the different OS you required, browsers you required. They'll install everything accordingly. So that means your test execution should happen only in test environment. So whenever the build is released to testing team, the test engineers has to review SRN document to know the build status. We heard this word every time. Software release note or service release note. Must and should. Developer will send SRN. Yes, go and review it. Open that. It's an MS Word or PDF document. Open it and try to understand. Try to understand what the status of that build means. The build status in the sense they'll explain you what are the modules they developed, which models are under construction, how many bugs they got fixed on that build, how many bugs are under still construction, which are fixed, which is not fixed. They'll explain everything. URL, they'll specify URL, the build number. Get that information before you start executing your test cases. So based on the SRN document, the test lead will deploy the build and testing team will perform sanity testing. I told you every time. So as per that SRN documentation, your team lead will deploy. Deploy in the sense will install. If any installation required, they'll install. Nowadays, I think we don't require installation because everything is cloud server, right? www we can access. But some applications to be installed based on the project. If anything required, they'll install. Otherwise, they'll give URL, access with that URL from the clouds or servers from client server directly. And you have to perform sanity compulsory, I told you. Sanity testing is completed. The test results of sanity testing should be mailed to developer. I told you, sanity testing means we are not going for real testing. We are executing only the basic functionalities to ensure that the build what we received from developer is stable or unstable. If sanity test case is passed, testing team will continue to execute the test cases. If not, testing team will reject the build back to the development team. I told you a number of times. During sanity testing, if all test cases are passed, accept. That means you got a stable build from developer. If any test cases are not executed correctly, if any basics are not working correctly, not functioning correctly, reject that build and send back to development team. So while executing test cases, the test engineers will observe the very important actual behavior of the application for the scenario, and it will be updated under actual results field. I told you we are leaving actual column empty, right? You try to compare your expected with system behavior and how system is behaving. Update the status in actual column. The same will be continued for all the test cases, no problem. The same thing, see, results analysis. While executing test cases, the test engineers will update actual results field, then he will compare actual results with expected results. If both are matching, then he'll update results as pass or else he'll update as fail. That we know all of you. For pass, we give green color. If you go in Excel, if you go with Jira, automatically get green color. For fail, we give red color. Test execution and results analysis both are parallel process. Okay. And here, how many test cases we can write per day? If your interviewer asking you, how many test cases we can write per day? It all depends on the requirements, the test engineers, but on average, we can write 40 to 50 test cases in a day. It means we are taking approximately 8 to 10 minutes for one test case to analyze the requirements and to prepare the test case and the test case template with test data. Approximately. Sometimes you may write 10 test cases also, depends upon the functionality requirement. If it's a very big functionality, obviously, but as per rules, we have to follow. How many test cases we can execute per day? It also depends on the test case and the application, but on average, we can execute 50 to 60 test cases per day. Because to review the test case and execute an application, we are taking up around 5 to 8 minutes time to execute one test case, an average I'm saying. That's what manual testing execution is very simple here, nothing more. Writing only takes time because we need to analyze, we need to understand the functionality, then only we have to prepare it, right? Without understanding, without knowing the requirement, directly we can't prepare. Now let me show you the execution, how we execute the test cases. Now whatever test case you prepared, all of you guys in Excel, try to open that Excel one side. Okay, keep on executing one by one functionality. How to execute? Very simple. I will provide a URL to all of you. I want you guys to execute all the test cases. Okay, so now as per the first step, no need to worry scenario ID, all this, only description is important. Description is important. Expected is important. Actual column is important. At the same time, results is also important. These two columns are now important. While executing, I told you. First step, leave it. No need to execute. Just only for understanding purpose we written. We are telling the purpose of the test case. We are telling the actors by whom it should be logged in. And we are telling the precondition of the test case. Right? So that launch Primus URL in Firefox browser. Let's say in Firefox. Launch Primus URL Firefox browser. No, that's the wrong sentence. That's what I'm saying. Launch Primus URL in Firefox browser. Okay. Yes. Open your Firefox browser. How do you know the URL means? I told you your team lead SRN. Go and refer SRN. We'll get that information. Yes. Launch it. Immediately, what is your responsible? Compare this expected behavior with system behavior. What is your expectation here? System displays home page of Primus Bank. Yes, check it out. Is your system is behaving or not? Behaving. Then copy this, paste to actual column and say here pass. Okay. And also, we can write our own message also, no problem. How system is responding, give that actual value. Same, expect should be actual. Both are equal, we are passing the particular step. Next, enter valid username, valid password. See that data, you can copy data from here. Enter valid username, enter valid password. Both admin, right? A capital, click on login. What is your expectation here? Go and check outcome of your application. My expectation is system should display welcome to admin page. Go and check it out. System is behaving the same way. Yes. Copy this, paste here and update results as pass again. Click on logout. When you click on logout, what happens? Again, ensure that is it navigating to respective page or not. System displays home page of Primus Bank. Yes, navigating. So copy this, paste here and say pass. So what I can say now, login test case with valid data is working fine. No issue with login data, valid data. Next, login with invalid data. Same, second test case. Okay, like that. Go on executing one by one. Very simple. Same. Enter valid username, enter invalid password. Enter valid username, other than admin is invalid. Click on login. What's your expectation here? System displays alert message. Yes, we got alert message. Incorrect banker name or password. Working fine. Next. Both invalid username, valid password. Invalid username, valid password. When you do this, here also we're expecting alert message. Yes, behaving correctly. Next, both invalid. What happens when you enter both invalid? Both invalid. Other than admin is invalid. Again, we're expecting incorrect banker. Okay, fine. Excuse me. Leave username and password blank. Both username and password blank, and click on login button. It should not allow you. Perfectly, it is working fine. So pass all the steps first. No need to pass first step here. Leave it. Paste here. Say pass again, and copy this. Paste here and say pass. All steps should work perfectly. Right? They are displaying correctly. No issue at all. Next, branches. Login is done. Now we are going into branches module. In this branches module, we are going into first branch search. In real time, don't expect everyone will execute the same test cases here. Okay, in real time, your team lead will assign tasks to everybody. All are present. Okay, you have to execute whatever task assigned by your leader. According to that, you have to keep on executing. Let me check for branches also. Same precondition is what that precondition? Admin should be, as per this test case, what that precondition? Admin should be logged in. You should be logged in. Yes, that is my precondition. First meet that precondition. This is what the meaning of precondition. Admin should be logged in. Next, click on branches. Do that. What's your expectation here? What's your expectation? System should be displayed with what? Branch details page. Go and check it out. We got details page here. Next, click on new branch. Sorry, writing for branch search or creation? Okay, branch search. Click on, okay, select country, select state, select city, click on search button. Select your required country, select your required state, select your required city, and click on search. It should display only the branches which are selected based on the selection criteria. It should display the branches, not all the branches. By default, it displays all branches. Now we should display only the branches what have been selected here, only Chennai related. Then immediately they're asking us to click on clear button also, clear button. So do that. When I click on clear button, it should clear all the fields, and should display all the branches again in the details page. That's working fine. No issue. We don't have any issue with this. Copy this, paste to it, and say here pass. And here also copy this. This also working fine. And paste, say pass, and say copy this, paste here, and say pass. Okay. Now we are going with branch creation with valid data. Click on branches. That is well. It is working fine. No problem. Click on new branch. Click on new branch. You should navigate to new branch entry page. Yes, we displayed with the new branch entry page. Now enter branch name with minimum data. Now you copy from here. Data, what are you prepared? You have to copy down from this. You have to copy down and paste here. Next, address one, so and so. That's what we can't remember data. Now you understood why we are preparing data. Next, PIN number, zip code. Only written for valid data, minimum data. And then we're asking select country, state, city, click submit button. I am selecting country, UK. I am selecting state, England. I am selecting city, London. Remember this, we again will create with the duplicate data. Okay, UK, England, London. Click on submit button. You're supposed to display message in alert window. See, new branch with ID created successfully. That's what we're expecting. Done. That is working fine. And click OK button for that alert window. Click OK to that alert window. When I click OK, it should be the details page only. It should not go to another page. Yes, no problem. Next, again, we want create with minimum plus one, right? Yes. So enter branch name with minimum plus one data. Again, click on new branch. Now copy this data. What are you prepared here? Minimum plus one, address one. Okay. And your PIN number is so and so PIN number. And select your country, select your state, select your city, and click on submit button. Again, you should be able to create successfully. Yes, done. That is also working fine. So it is working fine with minimum plus one. Next, we have to check with what? Maximum data. With maximum data. Again, enter branch name with maximum, like that. We have to go on ensuring every functionality. Maximum. What that maximum we can't. That's what I told you to prepare data correctly. What are you prepared? Check with the data. So and so. Address one. Next, address two. Because we have to check all the fields now. Maximum fields, we have to check with all the fields. Address 2 and address 3 also. The data should be prepared clearly. Next, accepting or not? Everybody is accepting. Next, area code. Area code. Okay. And then zip code is commonly we have to enter zip code also. Zip code 5 digits only. It should not allow more than 5 digits. So execution we can play here, no problem. Preparation only takes long time. Ensure that that's what write properly, write test case properly. We don't have any issues. Kada? If you don't write test case properly, you'll face a lot of issues. Then new branch created with that also perfectly. Next, everything's working fine. Next, we have to go with what? Maximum minus one also. Branch name, address one, everything we should check now. Click OK. See, branch name with maximum minus one is also valid data. Go and check again. New branch, address one. So if you don't prepare data, we can't keep on counting them, right? That is the reason we prepare data perfectly in Excel. Next. Address 2. Next. Address 3. Don't expect the real data will be given. Dummy data. You should accept the data. When you release to customer, customer should not face any issues. Area code also. PIN number. Select your country. Select your state. Select your city. Click on submit. That's fine. That's also working fine. No issue with this. Next. Next, we are checking with what? Reset button. Input some data in all these fields. Input, valid or invalid, not an issue. Input the data in all the fields. And click on reset button. When I click on reset button, you should be able to clear all the fields in that form, right? And finally click on cancel button. When I click on cancel button, you should be able to cancel that and should display branch details page. That's what we written for that, right? That is done. So all the steps are working fine. Copy down one by one, expect to actual and pass all the steps. Like that, we have to go on executing. Let's see what happens if we go with invalid data. Okay, let us see with invalid data. Again, click on branch. So enter branch name with minimum -1. What is that minimum -1? We can copy down from this. When I place my mouse outside of it, see that length should be in between 6 to 40 characters long. It's able to display message to you. Displaying or not? Yes, working fine. Displaying. Next, reset it immediately. Check for address one also. When enter maximum +1, what happened? It's not allowing first 1 2 1 2 is the maximum one. It's not allowing, no problem. Same address 2 also, it will display the same message. Address 1, when you give -1, less than, reset it. Less than 3, when I place my cursor on it, 6440, yes, not allowing, no problem. No, that is not branch. For address 1, right? Check it out. For address 1 also, should be length should be 4 to 50 characters long. Working fine. We're ensuring when we release to customer, they should not face. Same, maximum one is working fine, maximum is working fine, no problem. Invalid characters. When you try to enter invalid characters in branch name, especially branch name, you should not allow. Reset before you enter, reset it, okay? Reset it. Enter. Invalid characters. When I place my cursor on address 1, first letter should be alphabet. That's what we're expecting here. First letter should be alphabet, right? Next, invalid characters in zip code also. When you try to enter zip code with any other than numerics, that it won't accept. Immediately should provide you message. The field accept only numbers only. Should not allow other than numbers. That's also working fine. Leave all mandatory fields. Click on submit button. Leave all mandatory fields. All mandatory fields. Click on reset. Click on submit. When I click on submit button, it should display message for all the fields. Whatever mandatory fields we have, it should display message for all that fields. Yes, displaying good, working fine. Next, enter branch name with the duplicate name. This already we created, right? This data. Again, create with the same name. I made one. I think you remember that country, city I told you. Address 1. Zip code. Only mandatory fields. Zip code. And we selected country as UK. And we selected state as England. And we selected city as London. This is what already created, right? This is already created, right? When I click on submit button, new branch with ID created successfully. No, this should not happen. What's your expectation here? This branch already exists, but it's not displaying. It's allowing us to create a branch. So what do you say here?
Test case fail.
So immediately fail that step. Fail that step, and here give that note. And you have to give that. Allowing to create new branch with duplicate data. Duplicate. Give that immediately. You have to give. Whenever test case fail, you have to explain why it is fail. Compulsory. Tell them what problem you're facing. Our expectation is this, but application is behaving this way. That means expected is not equal to actual value. That's the reason we fail the step. Remaining all steps are passed. If any one step failed for the test case, the total test case failure. Don't confuse. All these steps are belonging to which module? Which module? Branch creation with invalid data. Don't say every step is one test case. I told you already. All these steps are belong. So any one step fail means the total test case fail only. So whenever you get a failed step, immediately fail that step and give the reason why you failed that step. Branch updation workout. Same thing when you go for a written up to user creation also, right? you guys, myself written up to user creation. While writing test cases, we written up to user creation. Even you can check the user module also. Oh, written up to branch deletion only. Me too. User creation, users module. See that user module. If you go user module, as precondition is should be logged in. Already be logged in, no problem. Click on users. Yes, we clicked on users. Select branch, select role. Click on search button. Select your branch. Select your role, and click on search button. Right? When I click on search button, see that. Copy this error immediately and paste to actual column immediately. Where it is got, when you click on search button, we're expecting this, but not, tell that, not system displays below error message, server error, and immediately fail the step. And I see when you're unable to create when you're unable to search user, I think you can block remaining test cases. User creation with validator, you can block that test case. No need to fail, block it. Why I'm telling block means you're unable to search user, so it won't allow you to create user also. Same problem, it may not allow you to create user also, same way. So that when you click on users, when you click on new user also, it's paying the same problem. So until developer rectifies that problem, we cannot continue that module. The whole module, what that module we have, user search, user create, user search fail. User search fail that test case, okay? User creation with valid block, user invalid also block, user updation also block, user deletion also block that test case. Block means what? You're temporarily blocking because still under construction. Once developer rectifies that problem, then again we re-execute it again accordingly. Okay, na? So that's what we need to. And one more thing is, make a habit of taking screenshot. I don't know how many of you are awareness in taking screenshot. See, you want show this screenshot to developer. Attach. You want to attach it, right? How to take a screenshot? Print screen is available, or snipping tool is also available. Snipping tool. Open this. If you don't have, then open Paint window. It's up to you. Okay, Paint snipping is the best option nowadays. Click on it. Open the snipping tool. Be in the error page here. First, be in the error page. Click on new. Again, one more time. Click on new. It gives one crosshair symbol. Up to where you want, take a screenshot. Drag like this. And save it. Save to desktop anywhere you want. And while attaching defect, while reporting defect to developer, we need to attach that screenshot also to developer. Okay? You have to attach that screenshot with the developer. That's very important. Okay? Manual tester, especially manual tester, don't report defect to developer without attaching a screenshot. That's must and should. See, any difficulty we're facing while executing test cases here? Are you facing any difficulties? Nothing. All of you, I'm sending that URL to your chart, all of you guys. I want your outputs also. I'm sending to your chart. Please look at your chart. URL. I'm sending that URL to you. Note down that URL. Username for this application is A capital admin. Password also A capital admin. Both admin, admin, A capital. Both should be capital. This is a URL. This is a username admin. Password also admin. Okay, na? Show all of you whoever prepared test cases, execute them and let me know. Yes, while executing your test cases, obviously we are coming across defects, right? Now we need to report defect to developer. That is called what? Reporting. Common. Interviewer will ask you, how do you report your defect to your developer? Yes. The process of reporting or sending the bugs for the failed test case to developer is known as reporting. We are called defect reporting also. We can report in two ways. We can report them via Excel file, or we can report them by using bug reporting tools like Jira, Bugzilla, Bug Tracker, lot of tools in the market. If no tools available, then we should take help of Excel files. But don't tell to interviewer we follow two ways, any one on which you are familiar, you can give explanation to developer. Now I'll show first Excel and then I'll show you how to use Bugzilla, Jira tool also for reporting a bug. So first, reporting a bug. Yes, for everything we want template here again. We have to maintain template. If you're going with Excel, if you go with a tool, by default, customized fields will be there. We may find customized fields and we'll see that also. First see that bug ID, bug title, status of the bug, severity of that bug, very important, priority of the bug. We have to describe about your bug. If any screenshot, attach it. Version and which version it got failed, we have to provide that version number. By whom it is reported, give your name, assigned to developer name, comments, both developer and testers, comment box used by both people if you're going Excel. What does that say? Bug ID. Use that bug number. You're giving test case ID, scenario ID, requirement ID, use case ID. Same thing, bug ID also will have one number, unique number, CR number we call CR, change request number. Title, bug title or summary. What we provide in that column? Bug title or summary means we have to provide the actual results of the bug will be described over here. Whatever error we got in the application, that error we have to display in the actual. See, bug title summary is the title of the bug, your heading. It's in a newspaper headings. Newspapers we find headings. Headings is different in that by looking heading we can understand 50% of it. Am I right? And if you want to know more about that, we'll go and study a description of that, right? That's what title means. It should be a catchy word for developer. By looking your title, developer should get 50% idea on your defect. We have to give such a catchy word. Status. Anybody? How many statuses? With what status we can report defect to developer? With what status we report? Pass or
Fail. Pass or fails.
Like a new or old.
You might say pass or fail. No. We report defect for pass or failure, but we are reporting status to developer. There are two status you have, remember all of you. New, reopen. A tester can report a defect to developer either with a new defect or reopen. When we report as new, when we report a defect new means whenever we identify defect for first time, then report as new to developer. Developer understand that it's a new bug you're reporting. We'll discuss open fix in a different bug life cycle. When we reopen a bug, when tester has reopened a bug means yesterday we reported one bug here. The fixed bug will be tested by test engineers, right? Developer will fix your bug and you're testing it again. If it is not working as expected, then he will update status of the bug to reopen. And the reopen bug will be sent back to developer. 100%. So whenever we reopen a bug, developer understands that. What he will understand, what developer understand means he'll understand that the bug has not fixed correctly by him. Maybe it's not working still to the testing team. The developer will check that whether it is really a bug or not again. If yes, he opens it again and fix the bug and send back to testing team again. So when you report, see, when you get a bug for first time, always report as a new. When bug is, after retesting your bug, if bug is not fixed correctly by the developer, then we need to reopen the bug. And then the bug will be resent back to the developers again. Accordingly, we're going to fix it. So there are two types, remember, testing team. Okay, that is what meaning of status. Okay, do you understand, all of you guys? Always report new when defect found for first time. Newly defects. Reopen means during retest, after fixing bug by developer, you have to retest it again. That is our responsibility. And during retest, if still it is not working as per your expected, then we need to update status to what? From fixed status to reopen. And the reopened bug will be sent back to whom? To the developer again. That's what, he will check it again. That is what the meaning of status. And here, severity, main column is severity column. So who is assigning severity for a bug means? I think all of you have an idea about that. Bug severity is always assigned by testing team. Why? Because you are executing the software. You know how much that issue is impacting your software. Only tester knows that how much the defect is impacting that software. What is severity means? Severity describing how seriously the bug impacting that application on testing. Means you got one issue, how serious it affecting? Are you able to continue with the testing or it's blocking you? Seriousness, it's telling us seriousness, how seriousness the bug is impacting any other related functionalities. Is that issue impacting any other related functionalities? Based on that, we should report a developer. Like say, we'll report as blocker. Sometimes we can report as very high severity. We can report as high severity. We can report as medium severity. We can report as low severity also. Blocker means what? What type of issues we can report blocker means? If the bug is blocking the entire testing of the module, then severity or type of the bug is blocker. Suppose say for example, suddenly my system is getting hangover. My application, not system, my application is getting hangover. Are you able to continue testing? Are you able to go for further testing on that? No, it's blocking you. Suddenly, suppose you are unable to log into your application, assume that. You're unable to log in means, I can't do that. I can't go further testing until login works. So that means any server issues, any hangover issues hanging over in between, such issues we can report. Blocker means, remember, developer will react immediately when you report defect as blocker. He will react immediately. He'll understand that it's a very, very important issue. That's what I'm tester. While reporting a defect, don't play with the developer. You report correctly. You explain that severity correctly. If simple, see, defect reporting is like a patient and a doctor. It's like a patient and doctor here. If patient is not giving clarity for a doctor, he cannot solve your problem. It is patient responsibility to explain about his problem. Then only doctor will look after that issue. Same way, when reporting a defect developer, you are a patient. Tester is a patient. Your doctor is a developer. Let him understand clearly. Okay. So whenever we get any server issues, any runtime issues, report them blocker. Very high severity. If the bug is blocking partially the testing of the module, then severity of the bug is very high. Partially, not completely. No problem. We can report as very high severity. High severity. If the bug is blocking only specific scenario of the module, then severity is high severity. If the bug is blocking only specific scenario of the module, then the severity is very high. Medium. All GUI bugs, GUI, graphical user interface severity should be medium. Low, I told you already number of times. Any cosmetic issues, usability issues. Report them low severity. Color is not working. Spelling mistakes. Logo missing. Logo misspelling. Color, font size, all this don't give more importance. We have to report low severity. No, because they don't affect your software. They don't affect any other related functionalities also, right? Now, just now we got two defects. Today, we encountered two defects. One is it's allowing to create branch with the duplicate data, and one is not allowing to search user. Any one of you tell me what severity can you provide for allowing branch with the duplicate data? Anybody? You want me to give blocker, very high, high severity, medium severity, or low severity? Any one of you? Just now we have a problem. What is that problem? It is allowing you to create new branch with duplicate data, already existing data. What severity you will report to developer? Anybody? Is that
We will go
481?
for high.
High severity?
Yes, sir.
High.
High. Why high?
Because it is only a
Only
specific
particular
scenario
scenario.
we are
Yes,
facing the
okay.
issue.
Yes. So don't say blocker, don't say very high severity. Because it's only user model is getting affected. Rest of the models are not getting affected because of that issue. Next, high severity. No, you said high severity.
Yes, sir.
Only highs.
I can say
Yes.
medium severity.
But this bug is not
Sir,
comes
but
to the GIA bugs. Means all GIA bugs they mentioned.
See, it is not allowing you, it's allowing you to create duplicate data. It's allowing to create with the original data, no problem. Only duplicate data means GUI related only, right? Why do you give high severity? Is it affecting any other scenario? Are you able to update a branch or not? Are you
no,
able to
sir,
delete
but
it?
it's
No, you should affect other related functionality with the same scenario. In the branches module itself, we are able to search a branch, we are able to create a branch, we are able to update a branch, we are able to delete a branch. It's not affecting any other related scenarios of that module. Only that duplicate data, the duplicate data is not that important. See, that is not very much important to client and very much important to application also. Allowing duplicate, it's not a big issue for customer. It won't create any big issue for customer, and also it won't affect your functionality also. Give it as medium severity. For second issue, user search, we can give high severity. Endukante user search, you are unable to perform. Means you are unable to go for further testing on that specific scenario. Like you can't go for user creation, you cannot go for user updation, you cannot go for user deletion. It's blocking it's blocking only that particular scenario. There we can give high severity. For branch creation with duplicate, we can give medium severity. No issue. And one more issue we can report a developer in this branch creation. Branch, in not only branch. When you give table usability span, you have to find out that usabilities also. All of you, let me test. You test and tell me the usabilities of this application. Now usabilities to the customer. When I click on branch, suppose I am creating a new branch with a huge data, very big data. Already available, I think. If I go with the 10th page, if you go with the last page, 20th page, or 30th page, so that table alignment is not correctly defined here. It's increasing. That should not be table. It should be the same simple table format. When you go with, when user is creating with a huge data, the alignments is going on somewhere. So that we have some issue with alignments, table alignments. That's usability. It's not a big issue. We can inform to customer as. That's what. As a tester, while testing, check everything, usability point of view also. Okay? That makes sense to developer also at the same time. When you keep on deleting, go and check, is it deleting or not? Check with the different data. Go on checking with your own data here, no problem. Everything we can't check according to customer business point of view. Okay, so That's two ways we can report developer. So that is called, what is that? Severity. So try to understand the problem and report developer. Priority. Yes. Priority describes in which order the bug has to be fixed by the developer. Yes, you are given severity. Based on the severity, developer may assign priority. Based on the severity, developer may assign priority for the defect. If you are reporting as blocker or urgent, some people call block or urgent, critical, developer, or you may provide P1. P1 means important. Immediately the developer has to resolve it. When you report as very high severity, you may report as priority also P2. High means this is urgent. This is urgent. This is very high priority. High priority. Medium P4. People call P4 high. Some people depends on low P5. Any cosmetics we can report as low severity. But here one thing I can tell you finally. Priority and severities are proportionate to each other here. What is that? Proportionate to each other. You reported as high severity. Assume that tester reported as high severity. Developer can take low priority also sometimes. Sometimes you reported as low severity. Developer can take high priority for that. Look at that. They are proportionate to each other. You put as low severity, but developer is taking high priority. Because severity is always explaining in terms of applications business point of view. Whereas priority is explaining in terms of customer business point of view. Who knows more about customer means developer knows how much important that function to your customer. And tester, what you know, how much important your application you know, because you are testing it. For example, a simple example I can tell for this. When you're reporting as low severity, when developer will take as high priority means, suppose say for example, logo, your application logo is missing. Say for example, this logo is missing or it's misspelled here. Assume that it got misspelled. I told you it's a cosmetic, we'll report as low severity only. Developer give high priority for this. Why? Because he knows that this is very important to customer business point of view. Do you understand? It is very much important in terms of customer point of view. But in terms of application, it won't affect your execution. So we can give as low severity. That's what I'm saying. So priority and severities both are proportionate to each other. Sometimes low priorities can become high severity can become low priorities also. You reported a very good issue here, fantastic issue. Simply developer says a tester, we are postponing the defect for next coming version. Why? Means maybe that functionality is not belonging to current version. It's belonging to upcoming version. So that's what. So be careful while reporting severity as priority. And very important column here also, description. This is very important column. Here, the detailed steps to produce. It is your responsible to explain as you, how you got that error, explain in English language, step by step, step by step, step by step. The detailed steps to produce or get bugs will be described here. Based on the steps, developer will check that whether it is really a bug or not. When you send a defect to developer, he will not accept directly here. He will also execute in his environment. He will execute in his environment. The same problem should be seen in developer system also. Then only he will accept and then he can work on your problem. Okay, now that's what English only. See, defect reporting is common for both manual tester as well as automation tester. Remember that. Even if you are working as a Selenium tester, when you get defects in Selenium also, reporting will be same, no changes. We report in English language only, even we get defect in Selenium. Okay, every tester, every developer should use defect reporting compulsories in simple languages. Screenshot, if you have attachment, attach it. It's very easy for a developer to understand. Build version, in which version you got the defect. Developer will give that version number, don't worry. Just give that number. Reported by your name, give your name, so that it will be easy for communication purpose. And assigned to not your name, developer name. In review meeting, we have one review meeting in companies every day here. Remember all of you, during execution of your test cases, we have one review meeting. That meeting is called defect review meeting. Some people call it triage meeting also. Everyone should attend that meeting. Tester, developer, manager, client, everybody will attend. Be careful. Then in that meeting, to whom you should be assigned, developer leader will assign that to concerned developer also. That fellow will work on it. No problem. Comments, both will be used. Both tests. Any questions you have in Excel, especially in Excel. But I'll show in Jira tool also. Soon we'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow itself, possibly I'll start by day of tomorrow. Jira, how to work on Jira also. Okay. So we have to prepare a template like this again in Excel sheet. We have to prepare a template. Whatever fields I explained you, now we have to report that in a Excel like this. How I'll show tomorrow, and I'll discuss bug life cycle and the traceability matrix, and then we'll enter into Jira tool. And once we complete Jira, then we'll enter into automation testing Selenium. Okay, guys, I gave URL to all of you. Please execute and let me know how many defects you have. And tomorrow class, I'll show how to report a bug, an example. Then we'll move to, again, we'll just discuss in Jira tool again. Don't worry. Okay, na?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Right? Okay, see you tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you.